what advice would you give to families out there who have somebody who wants to be an AJ cat and take it further and then be a bull mare? Like, what are some things that they can put into place now to kind of prevent them from going through, I guess, that tumultuous period you went through that prevented you from really actualizing these opportunities?
Well, easy answer is that the mental side of it is not a percentage, it is the entire thing. The entire thing. So now the hard part is, where do I even start with that? Well, get inside of the Moto Academy app and read the books that I've read, hundreds of books in the last couple of years. And I've vetted like where you can begin for a beginner of like, okay, how can I start to figure out how to think? A great book for that is Mindset by Carol Dweck, because it talks about growth
Yep.
mindset versus fixed mindset.
Hmm.
And it's a very easy way to understand the fundamentals of the difference between the two. And I was fixed mindset in everything, like a belief that I was born with a certain genetic build and I was couldn't advance beyond that, and I
Hmm.
was um, intelligent in certain aspects and not in others. I was talented instead of like just building skills,
Yeah.
where to like the illusion of talent is just it's skill building.
Hmm.
It's teaching your child, or yourself for that matter, like you got to start with yourself.
Hmm.
You have to learn how to think. It's the biggest separator. And when people watch it on TV, it's like the secret. It's the secret. I mean,
Yeah.
it's right there in front of all of us, but
Hmm.
it people don't want to believe it because they don't understand. They want to
Yeah.
think it's a bike, or they want to think it's this guy got this opportunity that this person wouldn't get. It is a
Yes.
completely 100%, not even 99%, 100%. It is a belief system. It's a way of thinking.
That's wise advice for a lot of people because it's not. I mean, when we were growing up, how much did our dads talk about mindset? They were like, "You better
My dad
twist
talked
that."
about luck,
Yeah, my dad mentioned like, "Hey, you just need
like
to be
good
more
luck, bad luck.
talented." Yeah, yeah. He's like, "Hey, twist the throttle, dummy. We'll worry about mindset later." You know, like that's literally that's literally it. But yeah, it's such a. I think it needs to be more emphasized, which I'm so grateful that the Moto Academy app has that aspect of it. And you can start to see the rise in people who are like becoming more cognizant of like, hey, my mental state is what's really going to dictate how well I can even implement the things that I'm learning. But yeah, the app is so like rife with just people that are of that same mindset who want to help each other grow, and it's a great resource to get that process started and take you into it. So
Yeah, like people in a
yeah.
transition period to where like
Yes.
they're either ready for it or they
Hmm.
didn't know they were ready for it, and all of a sudden like something clicks where like Dylan Miller is a great example of it. One of our
Hmm.
new amateur sponsored athletes in the app.
Hmm.
I just watched a YouTube video that he made where he showed the transformation of him on the bike in the last
Mm.
3 or 4 years, maybe even
Yep.
less than that. And it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't even look like the same
Completely
person.
did. Even the thumbnail that he used, you could like just that
Right.
alone. It's like,
This versus like perfect. And it's
oh,
like, holy
yeah.
cow.
It looks like 2 different years, 2 different people, 2 different classes, 2 different parts of the world. Like it's not even the same person. Yeah, it was awesome.
And he's super young. He's a
Yeah.
teenage kid that, and when I asked him, I was said like, what made you, how did you do this? And he goes, honestly, I started following Moto Academy stuff, but I was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's like, I would try some of the things, but I wouldn't try all of it.
Hmm.
He's like, so I was learning, but I didn't really make a full commitment. And he goes, then I broke my back really bad.
Mm.
And he said, I have a decision. I either need to stop riding or I need to do this the right way, not make excuses and just go
Hmm.
all in and do it the right way. So he decided from that moment to dive in with 100% commitment. And
Yeah.
it was like, that is what clicked in his head. And I wish I could have had that wherewithal as a teenager to be
Hmm.
able to have that level of commitment. And he just started watching the videos, and piece by piece, feet, knees, hips, I mean, one thing at a time, just checking it off the list and working on it. He started
Hmm.
reading all of the books in the mastermind. So like he dove in 100%.
Yeah.
And it takes the mental light bulb going off and the switch for that to happen. Um, and for me, I haven't even got a chance to test it in a racing environment yet, because my
Mm.
mind started to change and I started to really rewire mid-season, honestly, in my last year of racing Supercross, which was 2023.
Yeah.
Now I started to before then, but it was like it hadn't really kind of reached that what's the term? Flywheel effect. Like it was very early days, and so in racing, it was like it still was a little shaky. Like I would go back to my old self pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
But where it's become obvious is just in every other aspect of my life, my relationships, my relationship with Allie, especially my business, like everything with the business has taken off the last couple of years. And that is not just coincidence. That is because I have now a completely different, like fundamental belief system in what I am capable of. And when I say like what I am capable of, everybody has limitless potential. Just a matter of like, can you unlock it by understanding that you have that or not?
Yeah. That's such a good way of looking at things. I wish more people would do it. Call to action like we do every time. Hop in the app. It's really it's going to be so beneficial for so many people.
Because you're then surrounded by people that are like that consistently, and even if you just pop in that app for 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, it will only be a matter of time before you start operating and thinking, changing the way that you think and forming new habits. And and for me it's important even because it's if you're not around that, and it's very easy to form a new habit that might not be a good habit, and all of a sudden your thoughts are different. If you guys enjoyed this podcast clip and you want to listen to full episodes, you can do so on Spotify and Apple Music. If you want to send in your own video submission, you can join us in the Moto Academy family inside of the Moto Academy app by just going to themotoacademy.com. That's also where you can sign up for a class. Okay, guys, see you next episode.